with dignity, speak with courtesy, and play with pride. For more information and resources on sporting behavior, programming, and expectations, visit ohsaa.org/RTG. On behalf of the OHSAA, please remember to respect the game. Spectrum Sports is the television home of the OHSAA, connecting you to the games that matter to you. Your players, your teams, your schools. It's happening in high school sports. It's happening on Spectrum Sports and at myspectrumsports.com. Ohio dairy farmers want to wish all participants good luck at tonight's event, reminding you to fuel up with chocolate milk, the official beverage of the OHSAA. An 8-ounce serving of chocolate milk is packed with 8 grams of protein, and it tastes great. Visit drink-milk.com to learn more. Hospital Emergency Departments treat over 45,000 sports-related eye injuries every year. More than half are suffered by players under 18. Eye protection can reduce the risk of eye injuries by at least 90%. Visit the Play Hard, Don't Blink website, www.playhardgear.com to learn more. And TicketTap is proud to be the official mobile ticketing provider of the OHSAA. Search TicketTap, that's TIKATAP. Find that in your app store or download that app today.
I've got about 3 minutes, so as long as you give me about 3 minutes to go through the national anthem, we should go. Give me a 5 count, 5.
Good evening and welcome to Athens, Ohio. Here we are at the Convocation Center for some Sweet 16 action. The John Glenn Muskies against the Unioto Sherman Tanks. The winner of this game will play the winner of the game that will follow this one. We're talking about Meadowbrook against Fairland. My name is Jeremy Scott, joined by the Kentucky Kid, Mark Withrow. Before we get too far into this pregame, got to send a big shout out to a lot of different folks out there who are not only helping to sponsor this broadcast on the radio, but also on the video side of things on YRP TV on YouTube. Homeland Realty, especially Greg Millison, big sponsor. Big ups to those guys for making this possible for us, as well as Basic Systems, TK Auto, CP's Lawn Care, and B&B Body Shop and Towing. Mark, let's talk some basketball. If John Glenn's going to get to the Elite Eight, they are going to need to contain the 6'2 senior guard, SVC Player of the Year, District 14 Player of the Year, First Team All SVC, First Team District 14, AP First Team Southeastern District, All-Time Ross County Games Played and Steals Leader, Unioto High School Career Assist Leader, Logan Swackhammer. The Shermans are 56-0 in conference play and 90-11 overall in the 4 years he has been on this team. Mark, it's not just a clever name. Swackhammer's a jackhammer. Who guards him here tonight?
Well, I'll tell you, I think they're going to use a lot of committee work, if you will, but I think the main cog will be Shane Bonner. He's a terrific athlete. I think he's going to get he's 6 foot, he's tall, he's strong, he's got good quick feet, and usually he picks up the ball handler. In this case, I think it'll be the best offensive player. You were talking about Swackhammer. He's averaging about 18 points a game. He shoots 43% from the field. He's not a great three-point shooter, at least his statistics, about 26%. Free throw, 72%, 6.3 assists. I mean, this guy's the deal. He's a player, and that's the guy that they're going to have to concentrate on. And what they're going to do, I think, is Bonner. But I think they'll mix it up also. I think they'll put some other people to keep Bonner out of foul trouble because he is prone to fouls.
Now, Swackhammer's workout buddy's no slouch either, Mark. Senior Brandon Kennedy is shooting 50% from downtown on the year, but he isn't just finesse, he's also the team's second leading rebounder. Not too shabby when a guy like that is considered only your second best player on the team. And, oh yeah, by the way, he's also the all-time best Unioto three-point shooter. Is it fair to say that a shootout would be bad news for John Glenn?
Well, it would cause problems. John Glenn's capable of putting the ball in the hole from the arc. Also, I think what they're going to do, though, their trademark, John Glenn's trademark defense, they're going to pressure the ball. So if you've got the ball in your hands, you're going to have a John Glenn Muskie in your face, and that's what they don't want to leave shooters spotted up on the outside and give them free looks. He is a 50% three-point shooter, so you can bet they're aware of him on that perimeter.
Now, I look at some miscellaneous stats, and I can't overlook the fact Gabe Fisher for Unioto has 54 blocks and 288 rebounds this year. And he's not exactly a tree mark, stands only 6'1". He's obviously an athletic guy. They put him on the inside. When you have to face like a guy like that who fits that kind of mold, are there certain fundamentals that you can emphasize in practice leading up to the game?
Well, I think what they're going to do there, again, they're going to Coach Woodard is concerned about how his ball club is going to play. So he's going to do what they do best, and that's going to be pressure the basketball. And then I think they'll front the low post. They'll get some help. They'll double team when they have to, mix it up, try to keep them off balance. You're going to see a little bit of zone. You'll see, of course, full court pressure. You'll see things trying to mess up the timing. But, you don't want to allow easy entry passes in there. But I'll tell you what I think is the biggest thing. I don't know that he's an offensive threat as far as posting up entry, go to the hole as much as he is. He averages about 12 rebounds a game. That's huge. Got to get bodies on people. John Glenn, the last couple of games, done a really nice job boxing out people, and they'll have their work cut out for them. You got to keep this cat off the boards.
Absolutely, you do. And we've seen the Muskies take down two teams with big men lately. Jake McLaughlin of Tri-Valley, he stands at 6'6". This past weekend, it was Joe Boos of New Philly. He stood at 6'4". Tonight, no rest for the wicked, Mark. Peyton Hill is 6'5". What's the strategy?
Well, again, I think they're going to play behind him, try to deny entry pass into the post by pressuring the ball. And then when he does get it, they'll mix up some things. He's not as big, he's not as big a rebounding threat. He averages about 6.7 rebounds, but those two guys on the inside, Peyton Hill and Gabe Fisher, they create quite a matchup problem. You got to play them and you got to get bodies on them, but the pressure from outside's got to deny any kind of entry pass into that post. And to do that, you got to be active in their face and pressure, and that's what John Glenn does well.
Not taking anything away from Unioto by saying this, but they won the Scioto Valley Conference by 4 games. Very comfortable lead at the end of the year. JG was lucky to split the MVL. When you get to this point in the playoffs, is it fair to call JG the more tested team?
I don't know. You have you got to play your schedule. You got to play your league and what have you and all that. We'll see. The test is tonight. You got to roll that ball out there. We play to win the game, I think, is a famous quote. And so what's going to happen is both teams have to perform out here. If John Glenn comes out, a lot of turnovers, don't make buckets, don't shoot the ball, make poor decisions, they're in trouble. If they come out, play pressure defense, transition buckets, keep their offense spread, keep those big guys, especially the big 6'5" kid, keep him out of the post by spreading him and spreading him out in the offense, it could be a really good night. Both these teams are very capable basketball teams, but I'll tell you, I think John Glenn, some of these kids played on the championship team. They fought the wars, and I think that's going to help out a lot too.
The Sherman Tanks of Unioto, so named because of an old superintendent who happened to be in the military. A very cool name. Unioto wearing their white uniforms with purple and yellow trim. Think Minnesota Vikings. The Muskies wearing their gray and maroon uniforms. We will be here all night long, ladies and gentlemen, broadcasting this game on WILE-FM 97.7 and on YouTube on YRP TV.
ABC Sports presents John Glenn High School Basketball. Tonight's game is brought to you by Homeland Realty, Basic Systems, TK Auto Service, CP's Lawn Care, and B&B Body Shop and Towing. Tonight's game continues after this.
Welcome to Homeland Realty, located on Main Street in New Concord. I'm Brenda Millison. Homeland Realty is a full-service real estate agency that can fulfill all your real estate needs with prompt attention to every detail.
And I'm Greg Millison. We would like the opportunity to talk with you and share with you how we can make home buying and selling easy.
At Homeland Realty, we make you feel at home. We care about our clients and we listen. Stop by our office or call us at 740-261-9022.
Basic Systems on Caddis Road in Cambridge is a full-service consulting engineering firm. They design and construct new projects or major upgrades to existing structures. Their team of experts design and lay out the best plan for success. CP's Lawn Care offers a full line of lawn care services. With quality professional services, they'll do your spring cleanup and maintain your lawn all summer long. Call Chad Parker at CP's Lawn Care at 740-704-7962. Proud sponsor of the John Glenn boys basketball team.
TK Auto Service is the garage that knows how important your time is and how much you depend on your vehicle. They are your tire center for Mastercraft tires and tire repairs, rotation, mounting, and balancing. TK Auto Service offers vehicle maintenance, including oil changes, starters, brakes, struts, shocks, and more. TK Auto Service, just a mile east of New Concord and minutes from Cambridge on Route 40.
Hey, this is Ted with TK Auto Service. Give us a call at 826-4916. That's 826-4916. Make us your repair service for all your vehicle care.
CP's Lawn Care offers a full line of lawn care services. With quality professional services, they'll do your spring cleanup and maintain your lawn all summer long. Call Chad Parker at CP's Lawn Care at 740-704-7962. Proud sponsor of the John Glenn boys basketball team.
B&B Body Shop and Towing is your partner in safety when it comes to vehicle repair, towing, and battery replacement. From collision repairs to vehicle restoration, B&B Body Shop can handle it. When it comes to your vehicle, it's your car. It's your safety. Don't be forced to take it anywhere else. And remember, B&B Body Shop and Towing is the area's Hertz rental car location. You may meet by accident, but you'll be glad you chose B&B Body Shop and Towing for your repair center.
Back in the Convo for the Sweet 16. On Homeland here in the Convocation Center on the campus of Ohio University. At this time, to honor America and in respect for those who are serving and those who have served, we ask that you please stand and remove your headgear as Meadowbrook grad Rachel Williams sings our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Rachel. The Commissioner Board of Control of the Ohio High School Athletic Association, of course, extends to each of you a cordial welcome to this Division II regional semifinal basketball game between the Muskies of John Glenn
and the Unioto Sherman Tanks. And Mark Woodrow, I do believe we have starting lineups being announced right now. Why don't you go ahead and give us who we've got first for the John Glenn Muskies?
Well, when we look at John Glenn, unless some things change, they're going to go with their old reliable Josh Whaley, 6'2",
such, and so treat them in keeping with the ideal.
Being coached by Greg.
It's basketball.
Sherman Tanks being coached by Matt Hoops. Now the starting lineup for the Sherman Tanks, number 0, the one we were talking about so much ad nauseum.
During our pregame broadcast, Logan Swathammer, he is the 6'2 senior. We also have number 11, Brandon Kennedy.
Swathammer's workout buddy, he stands at 6'2", he is a senior. Chance Smith is a 5'11 junior wearing number 32. Gabe Fisher's a 6'1 senior, he wears number 33. And rounding out the starting 5 for the Unioto Sherman Tanks, number 35, Peyton Hill, he is a 6'5 senior. Mark, you know, when I look at these two teams, again, the one thing that really jumps out at me just on paper is the fact that Unioto seems to have a little bit of a height advantage.
Yeah, they're a little bit larger than John Glenn, but all year long, John Glenn's kind of fought that. I mean, the tallest guy that John Glenn has is Carter Bucknell, and he is 6'4", and he plays sparingly. So they've been outsized all year long, and that's why they have to be efficient blocking out and working the ball around and not just stick it into the post. They're not going to outsize anybody.
And again, we have to send a big shout out to all the people helping to make this broadcast happen on YRP TV on YouTube. I'm talking about Homeland Realty, their big sponsor, especially Greg Millison. Basic Systems also got in on the action. Very thankful to them, as well as TK Auto, C-Pace Lawn Care, and B&B Body Shop and Towing. You know, Mark, the Muskies led the entire New Philly game, but then they seem to kind of go through long lulls whenever they seem to have the game on ice. You and I both said that even when they had that double-digit lead late in the fourth, it didn't really feel safe. What do you think the message was this week from Coach Woodard?
Well, you got to finish. You got to come in and finish. When you got things under, you got to continue to execute. You can't get comfortable because all these teams are scrapping, and they can get back into the game pretty quick. So, you got to finish. I'm sure that's what he wanted them to do. Stay efficient with your ball handling. Don't have 5 or 6 turnovers in a quarter to allow a team back in, and do what you do best, and that's defend.
So here we go. The teams are set for tipping off for John Glenn will be number 20, Casey Smith, and for the Sherman Tanks will be number 35, Peyton Hill, the 6'5 senior. Referees giving a few last-second instructions. Otherwise, we are set for play here at the Convocation Center in beautiful Athens, Ohio. Jeremy Scott with Mark Withrow on this Thursday. Ball's up in the air, and the tip is taken by Unioto, and we are underway here in Athens, being brought up the floor by number 0, Logan Swackhammer. He gives it off on the wing.
Man-to-man.
Back to the other wing. Quick three-point attempt up, no good. Rebounded by John Glenn. Casey Smith on that rebound, and the Muskies have it. Kumler bringing the ball back down the floor. Kumler taking it to the hole, putting it up, gets fouled on his way up. Now Sam Kumler, the sophomore, will go to the line, and he will shoot 2.
Nice job boxing out on that last play. Got the ball outlet. Kumler went right to the hole. This is what John Glenn's going to do. They're going to try to beat him down the floor and attack the cup, and that's Kumler's going to be at the line to shoot 2.
Fisher on the foul. First foul shot is up and good for Sam Kumler, the 6'1 sophomore, who really came on strong in that New Philly game, especially in the second half. Kumler's second shot up, and it's good. So the Muskies draw first blood, 2-0 with 7:41 left here in this opening period. Jeremy Scott with Mark Withrow at the Convocation Center in Athens. And that's here, Brandon Kennedy bringing the ball up the floor for Unioto.
Yeah, you got man-to-man full court pressure. They let them come up the floor, but they've got pressure on the ball.
Over it comes to Smith. Into the backcourt. It was knocked back there. No, it wasn't. That's going to be an over and back. Over and back on Unioto. Backcourt violation, so back it will come for the John Glenn Muskies.
Well, I think Bonner might have tipped it, but I think Swackhammer actually tipped it into the forecourt, so it's going to be first turnover of the game for Unioto.
Kumler to inbound. Inbounds it to Smith. Back to Kumler. He's being guarded by Smith. Over it comes to Haycock. Swackhammer on him.
Whoa.
Wide open three-point attempt up and no good for Smith. Rebounded. There's another three-point attempt. That's Kumler up, no good. Rebounded by Swackhammer. And Swackhammer, there is a foul in the backcourt, and that foul will be on John Glenn.
Wow. After Haycock made the pass, he ran through the lane, and there was a forearm shiver given by Peyton Hill, the big 6'5" kid, at the free throw line. And you heard the crowd kind of moan a little bit, so they're going to try to get physical, looks like, with John Glenn.
So Chance Smith to inbound it. He does to Swackhammer. Swackhammer being guarded by Kumler. 7 minutes, 1 minute gone by here in this first quarter. Swackhammer gets the ball across the timeline. Over it comes to Fisher. Inside it comes, stolen away by John Glenn off an errant pass. Haycock bringing the ball up the floor, brings it into the paint, lost control of it, and he did walk with it as he lost control of it. So kind of a missed opportunity there for the John Glenn Muskies as Haycock was taking the ball to the hole, and he just seemed to lose control of it, and he walked with it.
Yeah, he got it pinned on his side and took an extra step. Little pressure here by John Glenn. That's man-to-man.
Kennedy bringing the ball up the floor. Kennedy, the all-time three-point shooter in Unioto history. Over it comes to Hill. Hill outside to Fisher. Being guarded by Kumler to Kennedy. Back to Smith. Back to Kennedy. Back to Smith. Smith looking inside, not able to find anybody. Finally does find somebody inside, up and no good. That was Peyton Hill on the miss. And loose ball in the backcourt. Bonner has it, looking for someone to throw it to. He finally finds Haycock, and I do believe that Coach Woodard is going to call a timeout, a 30-second timeout on the floor for Coach Woodard and the Muskies.
Nice look on the inside, went to the big man. Haycock had him. They had the mismatch they wanted, but Peyton Hill turned around and threw it over the basket, and nice effort going after the ball, getting down by Bonner to get that ball out, because it could have been another turnover.
Don't forget, after this game, we will have coverage of Meadowbrook against Fairland. The winner of this game plays the winner of that game, meaning we could potentially be setting up for a John Glenn and Meadowbrook game this Saturday here in Athens.
Yeah, both teams shooting poorly right now. 0 for 3 for John Glenn and 0 for 2 for Unioto. Turnovers, 2 turnovers for Unioto, 1 for John Glenn. And here comes Unioto with a little full court pressure.
So Haycock to inbound. He does. He inbounds it to Rayleigh. Rayleigh being guarded by Kennedy. Gets the ball across the midcourt line. Over to Bonner on the wing. Outside it comes to Smith. He gives it to Kumler on the wing. Outside to Haycock. He gets double teamed. Over to Kumler. Over to the corner for Bonner. He's going to take a three-point attempt. That's up and good. Shane Bonner, 4-3 to make the score 5-0 John Glenn.
Well, they got Peyton Hill on Bonner, and he stepped out. They're trying to keep him out of the middle. Big 6'5" kid from Unioto, and he didn't step out with Bonner, and Bonner hit that shot. That's going to make him have to defend it.
Inside it comes, and it's going to be knocked out of bounds by Shane Bonner. They were looking for Peyton Hill. He was double teamed, and not a very good pass, but it was knocked out of bounds by John Glenn, and so the Shermans will maintain possession of this ball.
Well, a little front and back side defense on the big boy in the post.
Swackhammer, quick three-point attempt up. That's going to be no good. Taken by Kumler off the rebound. Kumler bringing the ball up the floor. Kumler, it's going to go off of Swackhammer and out of bounds. Kumler was looking to pass it to Bonner. He had Bonner open on the wing, but Swackhammer was able to smack it out of bounds, and so it will remain John Glenn's ball.
Yeah, John Glenn on the attack. They're take the ball, and they're looking to go right to the glass.
Kumler looking to inbound it. He does. He finds Casey Smith, and he gives it right back to Kumler. Over it comes to Bonner. Bonner to Rayleigh, shouting out some instructions. Back to Bonner. Over again to Kumler on the wing. Inside it comes. That's Smith. Outside to Bonner. That's going to be a three-point attempt. That's up and good. Shane Bonner with his second three-pointer of this quarter to make the score 8-0 in favor of the Muskies.
Well, Peyton Hill, they haven't seen John Glenn, evidently they haven't seen Bonner hit the three, so they're playing off of him with the big kid. That's going to have to change.
Two-point attempt. That's up. That's missed by Unioto. Rebounded by John Glenn. The Muskies pushing the ball back down the floor. That is Rayleigh. Over comes to Haycock. Long three-point attempt. That's up. That's short off the front of the iron and rebounded by Chance Smith. And now Unioto has it. Bringing the ball back up the floor is Smith.
That was a nice look from a three-pointer for Haycock. Just didn't finish.
One too few Wheaties this morning. Over it comes to Hill. Back to Kennedy. He finds Swackhammer. Open for three. Up and no good. Rebounded by Kumler. With 4:20 left here in this opening period, 8-0 is the score. John Glenn with that big lead. Inside it comes. That is Smith. Puts it up and in. Casey Smith, the 6'1 senior in the low post. Timeout on the floor.
Full time.
And it will be a full time out with 4:13 left here in this opening period. John Glenn with a 10-0 lead, and you are listening to it on WILE-FM 97.7 and watching it on YRP TV on YouTube. Back at the Convocation Center in Athens, 10-0 the score. John Glenn with the big lead. Unioto with the ball with a little over 4 minutes left to play in the first quarter.
Little zone press now, 2-2-1.
Swackhammer gives it up. He gives it up to Hill.
Little zone, matchup zone right now.
Being guarded by Smith, and he is fouled by Smith. And that is going to be Casey Smith's first foul.
Yeah, and they're going to get him, they're going to get Smith out of there. Got to watch out. I think.
I'm sorry, that's a second foul. Check that.
Yeah. The Peyton Hill seems to play a physical game. He kind of bodied up with him, and Smith got called.
Into the game comes Nick Meinert for the Muskies.
Huh?
And I do believe there was maybe a clock problem.
No, they called a foul on number 22.
And that would be Josh Raley with his first.
Yeah. On the inside. Well, they're showing 20.
Well,
That's
Casey Smith is on the bench and nearly throwing it out of bounds. As a matter of fact, he did step out of bounds, so back it comes to the Muskies.
I'll tell you what I think they might have done is they might have given a warning for delay of game. He must have jumped out of bounds when he was defending Raley.
So the second one of those will be
I think that was a warning, yeah.
Okay. Then it comes to Meinert. Haycock for three. That's up and
good.
good.
Nice ball movement. Keeping the floor spread. Tough to defend. They got the ball on the inside at the high post and hit it. Haycock was lined up out on the perimeter and put it in the hole.
Swackhammer gives it up to Hill. Gets it outside to Smith. That's going to be a three-point attempt. That is up, and that is missed. That is rebounded by Nick Meinert. The Muskies with the ball, pushing it up the floor. That is Raley on the wing. He's going to pull it outside to Bonner. Over comes to Kumler. Into Haycock. Back outside to Bonner. Bonner to Raley.
Hill is playing about almost 7 feet off of Bonner.
And it comes to Meinert back outside. That's Kumler. He pump fakes, drives the baseline, passes it to Meinert, who puts it up and puts it in there. Nick Meinert with a pretty bucket to make the score 15-0. John Glenn with the lead.
Nice job not settling on the three. Tacked the baseline as the defense came to him. He found the open man underneath for the easy bucket.
Swackhammer driving it up to the hoop and putting it in there for the first bucket of the first quarter. First bucket of the ball game for the Unioto Shermans to make the score 15-2.
Nice tough bucket for Swackhammer. He had to really get physical and strong to go to the hole on that.
Into the corner, and Bonner being guarded by Smith to the foul line, and that's going to be stolen. Kind of an ill-advised pass there by Shane Bonner. He was looking for Nick Meinert, but it was poked away, and now the Shermans have it.
Too many hands in there trying to get the ball at the elbow.
Driving it is Fisher. Dishing it underneath, putting it up and putting it in there. That is Peyton Hill with his first bucket of the ball game. 15-4 now the score.
See, there was a breakdown in the defense. They're trying to get a trap here up here by the half-court line.
Raley has it, passes it back outside. That is Raley. And that's going to be a foul. I'm sorry, that was Kumler, and he passed it to Meinert, and Meinert got fouled. And that foul is going to be on number 35, Peyton Hill, his first of the ball game.
Well, I think they're trying to get the ball in anybody's hand that's being guarded by Hill, because Hill's so physical, and get him in some foul trouble, get him out of there, because he's the inside presence.
Into the game, Cade McKee, the 6'3 sophomore, sitting Chance Smith, the 5'11 junior. John Glenn with the ball. 2:08 and winding here on this first quarter clock. 15-4 the score. Inside it comes to Bonner. Bonner puts it up, had it rejected, and it's taken by Unioto, and back come the Shermans on offense.
Wow.
I was waiting for a foul call, but there
no
was
foul.
none. I guess they're going to say that he got all ball. So Swackhammer has it for Unioto. Over to the corner it comes. That's McKee, who just checked into the ballgame. Back outside to Swackhammer. Gets some instructions from Coach Hoops on the sideline of Unioto.
Little confusion offensively.
And it comes to Fisher. Fisher at the foul line. Almost had it poked away. Was able to corral it. Fisher at the elbow, driving it into the lane, putting it up, putting it in there. Gabe Fisher for 2. All of a sudden, the Unioto Shermans are on a 6-0 run. 15-6 is the score. But John Glenn did have a 15-0 lead not too long ago. Over it comes to Haycock. Cross-court pass to Kumler. Back outside, that is Jack Williams, who's checked into the ball game for the Muskies. That is Haycock. Inside it comes to Minert. Minert driving it up, laying it up, and missing it. Rebounded by... That is going to be John Glenn's rebound. That is Haycock on the rebound. Minert for 3, puts it up, and Nick Minert has a 3-pointer. That is good. 18-6 the score.
Nice scrapping by John Glenn to get that basketball. Haycock came up with that 50-50 and set up Minert for the 3.
So under a minute to play here in the first quarter at the Convocation Center in Athens. 18-6 the score.
Travel.
That's going to be a travel, so back it comes to the John Glenn Muskies. Checking into the ball game now, Parker Zachrich for the Muskies, as well as they put Casey Smith back in there. No, I don't believe that they did.
Well, this is a smart move, getting Haycock and Bonner, getting some of the starters just some extra rest here on an offensive possession with 44-9 left in this first quarter.
So right now it's Kumler, Williams, Rayleigh, Minert, and Zachrich.
Well, they started off, gave him a 1-3-1 look, and now they've kind of moved into a 2-3.
Over to the elbow, that's Minert. Minert back outside to Kumler, thought about a 3-point attempt, decided not to take it, gave it off to Williams. Williams inside to Minert at the foul line, driving into the lane, putting it up, putting it in there.
Nice
Nick
left
Minert.
hand, Nick Minert.
20-6 the score, under 20 seconds left here in the first quarter. Jeremy Scott with Mark Withrow. Unioto playing for this last shot.
Full court pressure, a tentative man-to-man, but just making them have to work a little bit to come up.
Swackhammer gives it off to Fisher. Fisher drives it in. He puts it up, had it rejected. Nice block there by the Muskies, putting up a last-second 3-point attempt. That is off the front of the iron is Sam Kumler, and that will be how the first quarter ends. The John Glenn faithful liking this one and liking it very much. 20-6. John Glenn leads Unioto. We'll be back with the second quarter right here on WILE-FM 97.7 and on YRP TV on YouTube. (20-6) the score. John Glenn leads Unioto as we begin the second quarter of play here at the Convocation Center in Athens. Winner of this one goes on to play the winner of Meadowbrook Fairland, which will follow this game. John Glenn on offense. Underneath it comes. That is Casey Smith, who puts it up, and he gets fouled. Now Casey Smith will go to the line, and Casey Smith will shoot 2 because of that Chance Smith foul.
Nice job on the head fake. Gave a head fake, got it both defenders up in the air, and then went up for the shot. Going to be at the free throw line shooting 2.
Casey Smith has 2 so far on the night. First foul shot up, first foul shot long off the back of the iron.
They put in Nick Atkins, another 6'5" guy, and pulled Hill for a little bit of an extra breather.
Smith's second foul shot up and good. So Casey Smith 1 for 2 from the line to make the score 21-6 in favor of John Glenn, with just under 10 seconds, just over 10 seconds now gone by here in the first quarter.
Little 2-2-1 zone press to get the ball up.
Gabe Fisher over comes to Swackhammer in the corner for 3, up, no good. Rebounded by Kumler. Now John Glenn pushing the ball up the floor. Over comes to Rayleigh on the wing, open for 3. Good! It used every bit of that rim, not once but twice.
Wow, that was interesting. Dipped down in, came back out, and but it counts. We'll take it.
It all counts the same, folks. 24-6 the score. There's a kick ball on John Glenn, and so it will remain Unioto ball. That kick ball on Parker Zachridge.
Yeah, that pressure just eating it up. Here comes Hill back into the game.
And sitting is Atkins. To inbound will be McKee, Cade McKee, the 6'3 sophomore. Inbounds it to Swackhammer, being guarded by number 35, Zachridge.
Looks like a
Zachridge trying to steal that ball, and out of bounds it went. It looked like it went out of bounds. It looked, as a matter of fact, like Swackhammer had the ball when he touched the paint out of bounds, but no call, and so Unioto maintains possession. Here it comes for two-point attempt. That is no good, and that looked to be a pretty blatant holding call underneath, too, but again, no call. They're letting these guys play. Either way, though, John Glenn has the ball on offense.
Well, it was wild. Two Unioto players literally went down the floor, and the ball was there. Nobody was after it.
Outside it comes to Williams. Over to Haycock. Haycock shouting out some instructions.
Straight man-to-man, looks like.
Over it comes inside to Smith. Pass outside to Williams on the wing. Decides to pass up the shot. Pass it to Rayleigh. Rayleigh back to Williams. Williams to Haycock on the right wing.
They're content to do this all night long.
Over it comes to Haycock. Thought about a three-point attempt. Decided to step inside. Steps into the
nice
paint. Lays it up. Lays it in there. Justin Haycock for two. 26-6.
It's a full one.
Full timeout on the floor with 6:19 left in the first half. 26-6. John Glenn with the 20-point advantage. We'll be back right here on WYLE-FM 97.7 and on YouTube on YRP TV. (26-6) the score here in the second quarter. John Glenn with a commanding lead over the Unioto Sherman Tanks with 6:19 left. It's Jeremy Scott alongside of Mark Withrow. Unioto with this inbounds pass. Logan Swackhammer to bring the ball up the floor. No, he gives it off to Kennedy. Back to Swackhammer. It's a little bit of a trap there at midcourt. He's able to give it off to Kennedy. Back to Swackhammer, being guarded by Kumler.
2-2-1 press, falling back into a 2-1-2.
Outside it comes. That's Chance Smith. Back it comes to Swackhammer. To Smith on the wing. Thought about a three-pointer. Had it stolen away. Sam Kumler on the steal. He's got numbers. He decides to take it himself. And they're going to say that is a...
What?
What are they going to call here? Are they going to say that
it's an offensive foul?
And they're going to call a charge. They're going to call a charge on Sam Kumler, the 6'1 sophomore. That is his first personal of this ball game. And I can tell you that the John Glenn faithful who are sitting right in front of us are not too pleased with that call, but their opinion unfortunately doesn't count in this matter. The guys in the striped shirts do. And so here we go. Unioto on offense. Brandon Kennedy controls it. Cross-court pass to Swackhammer. Inside it comes. Passing up the two-point attempt and having it stolen away is Unioto. That was Fisher on that errant pass. And it is John Glenn's ball as Rayleigh brings the ball to the floor. Dishes it off to Kumler for three. No good, long off the back of the iron. That is rebounded by Bonner inside. Bonner puts it back up, and Shane Bonner puts it in there.
Wow, Bonner went very high for that rebound and got it and went back up for the second chance point. Boy, that's big.
28-6 the score. John Glenn leads by 22 over Unioto. And that's going to be a foul on Bonner. He was going for the ball on Swackhammer, and some good sportsmanship there by both parties. Swackhammer knew that Bonner is just a scrapper, and he wasn't trying to do anything dirty there, and they gave each other a little pat on the back, say, hey, no harm, no foul. It's Unioto's ball with Shane Bonner and his first personal.
Bonner's a horse. He showed that in football, and so he just went in there going for the steal and hit Swackhammer. That was a good show of sportsmanship. Back to the action, 2-1-2.
And almost having it stolen away, Nope, it's going to be off of John Glenn. They had a chance at it. They had about 3 guys around that ball. Unfortunately, it rolled out of bounds before any of the 3 could get to it, and so it will remain Unioto ball with 4:56 left in the first half, and John Glenn leading 28-6.
A lot of really good quick hands in there.
Inbounds it comes to Swackhammer. Gave it up to Smith. Smith decided not to take the 3-pointer, and over it comes to Kennedy. Back to Smith. To Kennedy. He is being guarded by Haycock. Over it comes to Smith. Smith back outside to Fisher. Fisher to Smith on the wing. Takes a wide open 3-point attempt. That is up, and that is no good. Rebounded by Haycock, and they're going to call an over the back. That's going to be the first personal foul on Brandon Kennedy, the 6'2 senior, an all-time 3-point shooting player in Unioto history. So it will be John Glenn's ball.
John Glenn's really got Unioto back on their heels. They've kind of been blitzed here. Nothing's working. Shots aren't falling right now. Now, they're more than capable team, so if things start turning around, I mean, John Glenn's, you were talking earlier about finishing, they got to continue to keep the pressure going. 1-3-1 zone press, or zone, looks like.
Bonner into the corner, and Haycock underneath the basket. That is up and no good for Smith. Good job by Unioto to get there on defense, and that is going to be off of Unioto, so it will remain John Glenn's ball.
Wow, nice job getting up for that block shot. What a nice-looking block. And then they went scrapping, both teams scrapping hard.
Kumler to inbound it. He finds Bonner in the corner. Bonner. Back it comes to Rayleigh at the foul line. Gives it up to Smith. Into the corner, and Kumler gets a pick from Smith, does Kumler, and he passes it back outside to Rayleigh. Rayleigh shouts out some instructions to his teammates. Over it comes to Smith. Smith has a wide open look if he wants it, but that would have been a long 3-pointer. Instead, he gives it up, and he gets it back underneath the paint. And here it goes for 3, up and good for Shane Bonner.
I tell you, that matchup's tough. It's tough to keep the big boy. He's trying to defend the cup, and Bonner just spotted up out there on the 3-point line. They found him, and he's just hitting the 3.
31-6. Right now, Shane Bonner has the hot hand from downtown. That's McKee into the game. McKee, he gives it up. He gives it up to Fisher. Inside it comes. That's Hill. Hill outside to Kennedy, to Swackhammer. He puts up a 3-pointer that is up and good. That rolls home for Logan Swackhammer, and that is Unioto's first bucket of the second quarter, and that makes it 31-9 with 3:11 left to play here in the second quarter.
Pretty good ball movement that time, and as you can see, Swackhammer, if he gets his feet set, he's not a bad shooter.
3-point look, that is up and no good for Haycock, and that is taken by Hill. And now back down the floor, that is McKee. McKee almost lost it, was able to get possession back into the corner, and Kennedy back outside to Fisher.
Man to man.
Kennedy puts up a 3-point attempt, and the 50% shooter for the season from 3-point land delivers right there to make it 31-12.
Look out, Jeremy. That was from long range, too.
Yes, it was. And back on the other end, and up and good. Sam Kumler for 2.
Kumler just did a nice shot. They gave him a crack and had the defense switch. A little confusion, went straight to the bucket.
So 33-12 is the score. John Glenn with the big 21-point lead. Unioto trying to make something happen before the teams head into the showers. Outside it comes to Kennedy, to Swackhammer. He puts up a quick 3-pointer. That's off the front of the rim, and it's taken by Haycock.
That was a rush shot.
Over comes to Kumler. Into the corner. Bonner, who's been hot, puts up another one, and he puts that one in there as well. Tell you what, Shane Bonner is doing it. He is getting it done from downtown. Right now the score 36-12. John Glenn triple timing right now. The Unioto Sherman Tanks timeout on the floor. And it is a 30-second timeout, so we will keep it here. Mark, what are you seeing so far? Are you seeing some shakiness? Are you seeing some nerves? I have to think, and correct me if I'm wrong, correct me if you disagree, but I have to think the experience of John Glenn and their upperclassmen, all of whom were a part of that state championship team from 2 years ago, is playing a role right here.
Well, I think it helps. You know, they've played here under pressure. They were on that championship team. They went all the way. I mean, that's got to help some. But I'll tell you, they're very confident. They've come out here. I think they're well scouted, and they've got a game plan. They're sticking to it. They're drawing the big guy out, and the big guy has not stepped out, and Bonner's hitting that 3, and when he's playing 7-8 feet off, the big guy's got to protect that cup from the drive, and when he doesn't, they drive it, and when he steps back in to protect the cup, they're hitting the 3.
A quick shout out to all of our video sponsors here tonight on YRP TV on YouTube. Homeland Realty, especially Greg Millison, our big sponsor, as well as Basic Systems, TK Auto, CP's Lawn Care, and B&B Body Shop and Towing, all of whom helping us get this broadcast on and to you via YRP TV on YouTube. So inbounds it comes, back to the action. Swackhammer brings the ball up the floor for the Unioto Tanks, or the Shermans if you prefer to call them that. Over it comes to Kennedy. Quick three-pointer. That's an air ball. That is taken by Kumler. Back down the floor come the Muskies. Kumler over to the corner. That's Bonner. Back inside. That's Minard. Minard passes it outside. Rayleigh. He's going to take a three-point attempt. And Rayleigh will hit from downtown. Josh Rayleigh, the 6'2 junior, makes the score 39-12. John Glenn dominating this first half.
Tough to defend inside out. That ball went on the inside. The defense collapsed to defend the shot, and they put it out to Rayleigh, who hit the three.
Swackhammer thinks about a three-point attempt. Instead, he's going to dribble it inside. He's going to take that shot, and he's going to miss that shot. It's rebounded by Kumler. Back on the Muskies on offense with about a minute left here in this opening half, and that's out of bounds off of Unioto, and so it will remain John Glenn's ball with exactly 1 minute left here in this first half.
I'll tell you what, you can do a lot of things when you're hitting the shot, and right now John Glenn is just hot as a firecracker, especially from the perimeter. But they've made enough inside shots that the defense, they've got to protect the glass.
Inbounds it comes. That is Rayleigh. Back to Kumler. Kumler over to Haycock. To the elbow, that's Minard, and Minard walks with it. And so Unioto will have the ball with 50.1 ticks left here in the second period. 39-12 is the score. John Glenn with a 27-point lead.
Second turnover of the quarter, fourth for the game for John Glenn. A couple of substitutions coming in. Number 55, Jack Williams, and number 35, Parker Zachrich into the game.
Sitting will be Bonner as well as Kumler, giving those guys a little bit of rest. I do believe that's their first time sitting out, both of those guys. So
man-to-man pressure, kind of giving them a little pressure to get the ball inbounds, and then token pressure bringing it up.
Inbounds it comes to Swackhammer. He gets it across the timeline. Over comes to Kennedy on the wing, being guarded by Rayleigh. Back to Swackhammer. Rayleigh switches off onto him. Now it's Zachrich on him. Over comes cross-court pass to McKee. McKee, he's being guarded pretty strongly there by Minard. And over it comes. That is
nice defense.
McKee.
Outstanding defense. Clock's under 20.
Swackhammer. Unioto could play for the last shot here if they want to. That's going to be McKee in the corner. He's going to take a three-point attempt. That is no good. Rebounded by John Glenn. That's Zachrich, and I do believe that Zachrich stepped out of bounds. Yes, he did, and so with 7.5 left, Unioto's going to get another shot at this.
Well, the crowd doesn't like that.
Before the teams head into the locker rooms, McKee to inbound. Caden McKee, the 6'3 sophomore. And that's going to be knocked into the backcourt by John Glenn. That was Zachrich. Swackhammer has it with 3 seconds left. Long three-point attempt for Swackhammer. That is no good. And that is how the first half will end from the Convocation Center in Athens. 39-12. John Glenn so far laying the wood to the Unioto Sherman Tanks. We'll be back with first half stats and a whole lot more. And of course the entire second half right here on WILE-FM 97.7 and YRP TV on YouTube.
John Glenn High School Basketball. Tonight's game is brought to you by Homeland Realty, Basic Systems, TK Auto Service, CP's Lawn Care, and B&B Body Shop and Towing. Tonight's game continues after this.
Welcome to Homeland Realty, located on Main Street in New Concord. I'm Brenda Millison. Homeland Realty is a full-service real estate agency that can fulfill all your real estate needs with prompt attention to every detail.
And I'm Greg Millison. We would like the opportunity to talk with you and share with you how we can make home buying and selling easy.
At Homeland Realty, we make you feel at home. We care about our clients and we listen. Stop by our office or call us at 740-261-9022.
Basic Systems on Caddis Road in Cambridge is a full-service consulting engineering firm. They design and construct new projects or major upgrades to existing structures. Their team of experts design and lay out the best plan for success. CP's Lawn Care offers a full line of lawn care services. With quality professional services, they'll do your spring cleanup and maintain your lawn all summer long. Call Chad Parker at CP's Lawn Care at 740-704-7962. Proud sponsor of the John Glenn boys basketball team.
TK Auto Service is the garage that knows how important your time is and how much you depend on your vehicle. They are your tire center for Mastercraft tires and tire repairs, rotation, mounting, and balancing. TK Auto Service offers vehicle maintenance, including oil changes, starters, brakes, struts, shocks, and more. TK Auto Service, just a mile east of New Concord and minutes from Cambridge on Route 40.
Hey, this is Ted with TK Auto Service. Give us a call at 826-4916. That's 826-4916. Make us your repair service for all your vehicle care.
CP's Lawn Care offers a full line of lawn care services. With quality professional services, they'll do your spring cleanup and maintain your lawn all summer long. Call Chad Parker at CP's Lawn Care at 740-704-7962. Proud sponsor of the John Glenn boys basketball team.
B&B Body Shop and Towing is your partner in safety when it comes to vehicle repair, towing, and battery replacement. From collision repairs to vehicle restoration, B&B Body Shop can handle it. When it comes to your vehicle, it's your car. It's your safety. Don't be forced to take it anywhere else. And remember, B&B Body Shop and Towing is the area's Hertz rental car location. You may meet by accident, but you'll be glad you chose B&B Body Shop and Towing for your repair center.
All John Glenn so far here at the Convocation Center in Athens, 39-12. The Muskies lead at the Unioto Sherman Tanks. It's Jeremy Scott alongside of Mark Withrow. First of all, some individual scoring on the side of John Glenn. How about Shane Bonner? Not one, not two, not three, 4 3-pointers in that first half. He's got 14 points total. Also contributing mightily for the Muskies, Nick Meinert, he's got 7. Josh Rayleigh, not a bad night. He's got 2 3-pointers of his own. He's got 6. You've got Justin Haycock with 5. Sam Kumler's poured in 4, and Casey Smith has 3. Now on the side of the Sherman Tanks, Logan Swackhammer, the Scioto Valley Conference Player of the Year, has 5 points so far here tonight. Brandon Kennedy, the all-time leader in 3-point shooting in Tanks history, has 3. Gabe Fisher, Peyton Hill have 2 points apiece. Mark Withrow, what you got on the team side of things?
Well, I'll tell you, my stats are a little behind, but we got official statistics here for the half. I got to go with it. Well, first we're going to look at the shooting percentages. Holy moly. For John Glenn, they're just sizzling. They're 63.6, almost 64% from the floor. 3 points, field goal 62%, 61.5, okay, from the three-point arc. And shooting 75% from the free throw line. Unioto, on the other hand, is shooting 26.3%. Unfortunately, that's a stat I was right on. 26.3 from the field and 16.7 from the three-point arc. And, I mean, you have to give the defense credit for John Glenn. They've just done a great job of defending, and they've got them totally off balance. When John Glenn's on offense, they've got Unioto's defense totally off balance, and it started off with the big kid playing off of Peyton Hill playing off of Bonner, and Bonner just nailed those threes, and he hadn't stopped. Okay, when we look at some other statistics, rebounding, John Glenn just killing them on the boards, 17-4 on the boards. John Glenn's got 3 offensive boards. Unioto has no offensive rebounds. Turnovers, I have 5 turnovers for John Glenn, 7 turnovers for Unioto. Free throw shooting, again, John Glenn's shooting 100%, and Unioto's 1 for 2, which is 50%. John Glenn won both quarters, of course, 20-6 the first quarter and 19-6 the second quarter. And your score right now stands at 39-27. to 12. And like you say, it's just it's been total domination by John Glenn. Great scouting report, and they have just worked the game plan to perfection.
Now, Mark, one of the things that we talked about in pregame was the fact that during the New Philadelphia game this past weekend, John Glenn would get up by a pretty comfortable lead, but then it seemed like they would take their foot off the accelerator. If you're Coach Woodard, what is your message here at the half?
To get a new game. The game's starting over. Let's defeat them in the next 2 quarters, kind of like our summer league. You know, in summer league, when these teams are playing, they play and they try to win quarters, or when they scrimmage, they try to win quarters. Well, let's go out and win the next 2 quarters. I mean, that's what I would tell my guys. You got to go out and you got to keep that intensity. Everybody, don't let your foot off. Because you can see glimpses. I mean, they're capable of hitting this three-pointer. You brought this up on the ride down. They can shoot the three. So, you know, you don't want to give them opportunities and get them back in this basketball game. And, you know, all it takes is some turnovers. They started to inch back in, but then offensively, they're taking the defense of Unioto to task.
So about 3 minutes left before we start the second half, and we'll be back with it right here on WILE-FM 97.7 and on YRP TV on YouTube.
Welcome to Homeland Realty, located on Main Street in New Concord. I'm Brenda Millison. Homeland Realty is a full-service real estate agency that can fulfill all your real estate needs with prompt attention to every detail.
And I'm Greg Millison. We would like the opportunity to talk with you and share with you how we can make home buying and selling easy.
At Homeland Realty, we make you feel at home. We care about our clients and we listen. Stop by our office or call us at 740-261-9022.
Basic Systems on Caddis Road in Cambridge is a full-service consulting engineering firm. They design and construct new projects or major upgrades to existing structures. Their team of experts design and lay out the best plan for success. CP's Lawn Care offers a full line of lawn care services. With quality professional services, they'll do your spring cleanup and maintain your lawn all summer long. Call Chad Parker at CP's Lawn Care at 740-704-7962. Proud sponsor of the John Glenn boys basketball team.
TK Auto Service is the garage that knows how important your time is and how much you depend on your vehicle. They are your tire center for Mastercraft tires and tire repairs, rotation, mounting, and balancing. TK Auto Service offers vehicle maintenance, including oil changes, starters, brakes, struts, shocks, and more. TK Auto Service, just a mile east of New Concord and minutes from Cambridge on Route 40.
Hey, this is Ted with TK Auto Service. Give us a call at 826-4916. That's 826-4916. Make us your repair service for all your vehicle care.
CP's Lawn Care offers a full line of lawn care services. With quality professional services, they'll do your spring cleanup and maintain your lawn all summer long. Call Chad Parker at CP's Lawn Care at 740-704-7962. Proud sponsor of the John Glenn boys basketball team.
B&B Body Shop and Towing is your partner in safety when it comes to vehicle repair, towing, and battery replacement. From collision repairs to vehicle restoration, B&B Body Shop can handle it. When it comes to your vehicle, it's your car. It's your safety. Don't be forced to take it anywhere else. And remember, B&B Body Shop and Towing is the area's Hertz rental car location. You may meet by accident, but you'll be glad you chose B&B Body Shop and Towing for your repair center.
39-12 the score back at the Athens Convocation Center, the Ohio University Convocation Center, getting set for the second half of play. Folks, before we get started with that second half, got to send a big shout out to all the people, all the businesses helping to make this broadcast happen on YRP TV. I am talking about people like Greg Millison with Homeland Realty. He really ponied up a big chunk of change to make this happen. So big ups to Homeland Realty, Greg Millison, as well as Basic Systems, TK Auto, CP's Lawn Care, and B&B Body Shop and Towing, as the Sherman Tanks will inbound to begin the second half of play. Chance Smith to inbound it, and he does to Logan Swackhammer. And here we go with the second half from Athens. Over it comes to Hill. Inside it comes to Fisher. He turns around, puts it up. No good. Rebounded by Haycock. Over to Kumler. Gets it across the timeline.
Well, just remember, this team didn't get here by losing games.
To Haycock for three. No good. Rebounded by Kennedy.
Nice look that time. Just couldn't finish. Here comes Unioto.
Swackhammer back to Kennedy. Into the corner it comes. That is Smith. Being guarded by Rayleigh. Inside it comes, turning around, putting it up, and having it partially blocked by Smith. That was Hill.
Boy, nice job by Smith. Not only block it, but able to get that ball and keep it alive, get it back in bounds for John Glenn.
That was 6'5", Peyton Hill, by the way, whose shot he blocked. Rayleigh, inside it comes. Good pass, good shot. It's good. That is a two-pointer for Sam Kumler, the 6'1" sophomore. He draws first blood here in the second half to make the score 41-12 with 1 minute gone by.
So you spread, get Hill out of that middle, and then you send cutters through, and they found the cutter and got the easy layup.
Chance Smith, over it comes to Hill. Being guarded by Casey Smith. Hill spins, Hill delivers. That is up and good for Peyton Hill.
That time they spread the floor Unioto and were able to go one-on-one and get the ball down inside and got the roll.
41-14, it's a palindrome. Sorry, Mark.
No, you're good.
Into the corner it comes. That's Kumler for three. That is an air ball, and that is taken by Gabe Fisher. So back come the Tanks on offense.
Well, he had a nice look that time, just didn't capitalize, didn't finalize it.
Inside it comes to Hill, being guarded by Smith. Hill puts it up, and he got fouled on his way up. And so now Peyton Hill will go to the free throw line, and he will shoot two. Hill on the year from the charity stripe is shooting 54%, 40 of 74 during the regular season.
Looks like Unioto's getting that floor spread and trying to get some one-on-one activity with Hill down on the inside.
Shot up, shot good for Peyton Hill. Nothing but the bottom of the net to make the score 41-15. So that breaks the palindrome. And Casey Smith comes out. And is that Haycock who they put back in?
Yes.
I do believe it is. Second foul shot up, and that is short for Hill, rebounded by Bonner. So Hill goes 1 for 2 on that trip to the line to make the score 41-15. Bonner drives the baseline. Bonner puts it up. I'm sorry, not Bonner. That is Haycock who drove the baseline, put it up, and got fouled on his way up. Missed the shot, but now Justin Haycock will go to the line, and he will shoot two.
Just nice ball movement that time. Haycock attacked the glass, going to go with the free throw line after getting hammered.
That foul on Gabe Fisher, the 6'1" senior. That is his second. Haycock goes to the line to shoot two. First shot up, and rims in.
Shooter's touch that time.
Some nights that just happens for you. 42-15 the score. Haycock looking to make it 43-15, and he does not. Rebounded by Bonner on the offensive side. That's a jump ball situation, and the possession arrow does favor John Glenn.
Wow.
Boy, Shane Bonner is maybe the scrappiest guy I've ever seen at this level of basketball.
Well, he just got inside. He's got quick feet. He got inside position that time and got the rebound. Another possession for John Glenn.
So inbounding it is Kumler, and he does inbound it, having some trouble with it, but able to corral it is Meinert. And Nick Meinert is going to go to the line, and he do believe he's going to shoot two.
Well, just a nice job. They all went to Bonner, and they snuck it into Meinert coming down the other side on a hesitation. Minert's going to go to the free throw line after getting hammered.
By the way, that's Gabe Fisher's third
foul right off the bat.
So Meinert, first shot up. It's good. Nick Meinert, not a guy whose name we've caught a whole lot on the offensive side of things during this playoff run. But so far tonight, he's got 8 points.
Tough, hard-nosed young man, played middle linebacker for the John Glenn football team.
And he goes 2 for 2 from the charity stripe to make the score 44-15. John Glenn in control. 6 minutes to play in the third quarter. Jeremy Scott with Mark Withrow at the Convo in Athens. Swackhammer drives it onto the other end of the floor, and he's going to get charged with a charge.
Well, a little zone press action. They fell back. Nice job holding position, and it's just frustrating for Swackhammer. A very nice ball player, and he just got a hit of steam up and ran over for the turnover. 1-2-2 press by Unioto.
Rayleigh and Kumler passing the ball back and forth, and they do get it across the line to Miner, who drives the baseline, decides to pass outside to Kumler. Back outside it goes to Rayleigh. Rayleigh to the elbow, back outside it comes to Kumler, and he gives up to Haycock, who's getting driven to the baseline. He's actually pushed to the baseline, and that is going to be a foul. That will draw a foul on Chance Smith, and that will be the 5'11 junior's second foul of this ball game.
Good ball movement by Haycock, but just tried to physically and bodily just pushed him out of bounds. So it's going to be John Glenn underneath.
Inbounding it is Kumler, and he does inbound it. Turning around for the shot is Rayleigh. That is up, no good. Rebounded by the Tanks. That is Fisher on that rebound. Fisher with a lot of rebounds this year. And that's an offensive foul away from the ball. And if my vision does not betray me, I do believe that's the
Hill.
second foul on Peyton Hill, the 6'5 senior.
Well, just they're frustrated right now, and they're trying to get physical with John Glenn. I don't think they realized Minert was inside linebacker. He can take that physical beating, but he just got run over.
So Kumler to inbound, and he does to Minert. On the other end of the floor, Shane Bonner wide open underneath the bucket, and Shane Bonner puts it up and in there. Shane Bonner with the 16th point of the night to make the score 46-15. And there's a three-pointer on the other end. That is no good. Rebounded by Kennedy. Kennedy loses control of it, but he had it knocked out of bounds, they're going to say, off of John Glenn.
Yeah, nice look that time. Just unable to get it to fall for the three-point attempt.
Swackhammer to inbound it. He will be guarded on the inbound by Rayleigh. Gets it inbound to Hill. Hill being guarded by Minert, and that's going to be a foul, I do believe, on Nick Minert. They're going to say he was reaching in just a little bit too much. And that is Nick Minert's first personal foul of this ball game. Minert, the 5'10 senior.
It's getting a little chippy out there. Bodies hit the floor.
Smith inbounds it to Swackhammer. Being guarded by Rayleigh. And foul away from the ball. Yep, it's a foul on John Glenn. And who are they going to call that one on away from the ball? Second foul on Nick Minert. So two quick fouls for the 5'10 senior.
Well, and that's he and Hill are pushing around on each other on the inside.
Inbounding it to Smith, and he does inbound it to Kennedy. Over to Swackhammer on the wing. Inbounds, inside it comes, and putting it up and missing that shot is Unioto, taken by Rayleigh. And so the Muskies have it. Over to Bonner, back to Rayleigh. Rayleigh trying to get the ball up the floor. He's getting trapped in the backcourt, and there's going to be a call. Oh, and savvy move there by Coach Woodard, who is not happy with his team. He was yelling some pretty terse words, it looks like, at Justin Haycock, and that's going to be a 30-second timeout.
Well, nobody went back to help get the basketball up the floor, and they kind of left Rayleigh there on an island, and so he's upset with it. Now the Unioto fans are upset because it looked like the ball was loose when they called the timeout. And so, they're not sure that he should have got the timeout. The timeout was called in the backcourt. So it's kind of a mess, but it's starting to get really chippy on the inside. Unioto is very frustrated, and they're starting to get physical. And we'll see. It's going to take a lot of discipline to keep from reacting.
A lot of seniors on this team, as a matter of fact. There are 7 of them, and they don't want to see their careers come to an end here tonight. However, they're going to have to make up a 31-point advantage right now for John Glenn. 46-15, John Glenn leads. So getting it across the timeline is Kumler, and he throws it out of bounds. He was looking for Rayleigh, and Rayleigh and Kumler kind of communicate with one another, saying it was on me. Now it was on me, brah.
Well, Coach Woodard's kind of snarling over there because there's no reason to get in that big of a hurry. I mean, just come down, get it across the timeline, set your offense.
So Kennedy has it being guarded by Haycock. Kennedy getting some instructions, looking over Coach Hoops on the side of the Shermans. Looks like Zachrich is getting ready to check back in for the Muskies. Over to Swackhammer to Smith.
Little 2-1-2 zone right now.
Back to Swackhammer. To the foul line, that's Hill. He's going to put it up there, and he's going to miss it. Rebounded by Shane Bonner. Bonner takes it, gives it off to Rayleigh. Rayleigh, over it comes to Kumler. Kumler gets it across the midcourt line. Back to Rayleigh. Being guarded by Kennedy. Over to Haycock from the elbow, puts it up, and Haycock's wide open shot misses, rebounded by Bonner. Bonner puts it back up, he misses it, and that one is going to be taken by Kennedy, and so Unioto has it back on offense.
Nice looks that
inbounds
time.
It comes, and that was right underneath the bucket, and not able to handle it is Peyton Hill, the 6'5 senior, and off of him they're going to say that ball is, and so therefore thusly it will be John Glenn ball. Checking out will be Rayleigh. Checking in, Jack Williams. And so that was 55, not 35, getting ready to check back in. Looked like a 3 from our vantage point.
1-2-2, actually man-to-man full court pressure.
Williams has it on the wing. Gives it off to Haycock. Haycock, cross-court pass to Bonner, who has some trouble with it, able to corral it. Bonner loses control of it, picks up his dribble. He's going to have to find someone to pass it to, does find someone to pass it to, into the corner, and back outside it comes.
They're so aggressive trying to go to the basket, they just don't have to hurry. They got a sizable lead.
Back to Bonner, who tried to find Haycock on the cut, and that is a missed opportunity there for John Glenn. McKee taking it down to the other end and getting it rejected. What a rejection by Sam Kumler, but they're going to say there is a foul.
I think they're going to say Bonner got him on the floor.
Yep, and if that is true, that will be Shane Bonner's second foul of this ball game. So 46-15 is the score. 3:09 left in the third period.
Oh, now they're going to change. It's going to be a 2-shot foul.
And it will be a 2-shot foul going to the line to shoot 2. Cade McKee, the 6'3 sophomore, who has yet to put any points on the board here tonight and has still yet to put any points on the board here tonight. So a couple of substitutions. Sitting are Haycock and Bonner. Into the game are Zachrich and Rayleigh. McKee, second shot up, second shot rims out. Rebounded by Kumler. So John Glenn has it as McKee goes 0 for 2 from the line that trip. Williams on the other end, driving into the hole. He has it rejected, and they're going to say that's off of Jack Williams. I don't know if they're going to say that the ball hit him while he was lying out of bounds or what, but they're going to say that was off of Jack Williams, and so it will be Unioto's ball.
Wow, now that's interesting. The shot was blocked, and I thought there was even a foul, but they didn't call the foul. I can understand that, but I thought the ball was clearly blocked out of bounds.
So Unioto has it. The Shermans with 2:52 left on this third period clock. The Shermans down 31.
Man to man.
Swackhammer, wide open three-point look. That is up. That is short. Rebounded by John Glenn. That is Kumler taking it. He's got Rayleigh. Rayleigh drives it baseline. Rayleigh into the paint, puts it up, misses it, and he gets fouled. So now Josh Rayleigh's going to go to the line. The 6'2 junior will shoot 2.
Wow, nice job using his body that time to shield off the defense. Went up for the basket.
That foul on Cade McKee, the 6'3 sophomore, his first.
Timeout.
Timeout on the floor.
Full.
We will take it with them with 2:35 left on the third period clock. 46-15. John Glenn leads it. You're listening to it right here on WILE-FM 97.7 and on YRP TV on YouTube. Back at the Convocation Center in Athens, 46-15 the score. John Glenn with a 31-point lead with 2:35 left on this third period clock. Don't forget, folks, immediately following this game, we will have coverage of Meadowbrook against Fairland. The winner of this game and the winner of that game will face each other this Saturday at 3 p.m. right here at the Convocation Center. But we've still got a lot of ball game left to play here.
Yeah, no doubt about it, but it just... right now, just John Glenn is very much the aggressor. They really haven't taken their foot off the pedal, which is exactly what Coach Woodard wants.
So Rayleigh goes to the line to shoot 2. First shot up, first shot good for Josh Rayleigh. That's his 7th point of the night. 47-15 now the score with 2:35 left on the third quarter clock.
6 for 7 from the free throw line, John Glenn at this point.
Rayleigh, second shot is good.
Make that 7 for 8.
48-15. Kind of a different story, an entirely different story from what we saw this last Saturday at New Philadelphia when John Glenn struggled from the line. They're doing it well tonight, and they lead it 48-15. Into the corner, that's McKee for 3. That is going to be off of the side of the backboard. I'm surprised they didn't call that out of bounds, but the ball is live, and McKee delivers on his second three-point attempt there in that little sequence.
First offensive rebound, and then able to hit the, with the extra possession, get a three-point bucket.
48-18 the score. John Glenn leads by 30. Up and no good. That is a Nick Minor shot that failed to deliver. And so now on the other end, the Tanks. Kennedy for 3. No good. Out of bounds. They're going to say that's off of Jack Williams, so will remain on this end. Unioto keeps possession of the ball.
Well, that time it looked like maybe it was tipped out, but they call it, so it's Unioto underneath.
And inbounds it comes. That is Fisher. Fisher gets fouled. And
that's Nick Minor,
that's going to be Nick Minor with his 3rd foul. By the way, all 3 of those fouls coming this quarter. And Nick Minor, I do believe, nope. Kumler's going to check in. Kumler checks out. Haycock checks in. I thought they were going to absolutely substitute for Minert because he's done a lot here tonight, but not quite yet, I guess, says Coach Woodard.
Well, I think they're buying some time for Bonner. A little extra rest.
Over it comes to McKee. Inside to Fisher. Fisher spins, looking for someone to pass it to, just threw it to nobody, right into the Unioto bench, and so it will be John Glenn's ball now.
Well, they wanted somebody spotted up over there, and obviously the person to be spotted up must have cut to the bucket because there was nobody there.
Inbounds it comes. Trying to get it across the timeline. They do. That is Rayleigh. Over to Haycock. Thought about a three-pointer. Decided not to take it.
Well,
back
smart
to Rayleigh.
basketball.
Over it comes. That is Zachrich who's in the game. Into the corner and Minert. Minert. Pass it outside to Williams. Wide open three look. That's up and good for Jack Williams. His first points of the night to make the score 51-18. John Glenn leads by 33 with 1:13 and winding here in the third quarter.
Defense is doing everything they can. They're taking chances and just left Williams open. Williams nailed it.
Kennedy into Fisher. Fisher outside to McKee. 4-3. That is no good. Long off the back of the iron. Taken by Parker Zachrich. And so the Muskies have it now over to Haycock. Haycock inside, and they're going to call a charge on Justin Haycock. Justin Haycock will get his first personal of this ball game.
Yeah, he dropped that shoulder, and this had pretty good position. Of course, there's a little bit of a flop there, but still, when you drop that shoulder and heading into traffic, then you're susceptible, and that's what they got him with.
Yeah. Haycock is a quarterback in football, but that looked a little bit more like a linebacker move there. So 51-18 is the score. Over to the corner. That is Fisher. Nice little fake by him. That's up. That's just an air ball. Just not a good look for him. I mean, it was a good look, just not a good shot.
Yeah.
So John Glenn has it with 33 and winding.
I think they're going to try to go for the last shot. So they'll probably get a little Princeton weave going here.
Rayleigh gives it off to Williams, who gives it off to Haycock. Over it comes to Zachrich. Parker Zachrich. Back to Josh Rayleigh. Little Harlem Globetrotters action here. Just moving the ball around. Not in any rush to take a shot. Over it comes to Minert. Minert with 5 seconds left. Over it comes to Zachrich. He's got to put this ball up. Somebody's got to put the ball up, and nobody's going to get a shot up. And that will be how the third period ends with the score 51-18. John Glenn leads by 33 as we head into the final period of regulation here at the Convo in Athens. You're listening to it on WILE-FM 97.7 and watching it on YRP TV on YouTube. Getting ready to start the fourth quarter here at the OU Convocation Center in Athens. 51-18 is the score. John Glenn leads by 33 points. What can you say so far, Mark? It's just John Glenn. It's been all John Glenn from the get-go. It just seemed like ever since the ball was tipped, there was just a certain energy in the air, and you could feel it on the side of the Muskies.
Well, they've just come out and they did what they, again, Coach Woodard worried about what his team does. They came out, they defended, and they've shot the ball extremely well. I've got them 17 for 38, right at 45%, and I think even the official stats are a little higher. But they've held Unioto to 21% shooting.
Inside it comes. That's a two-point bucket. And that is McBee for two.
That's the other 6'5" kid down on the block, and he was able to go to the hole and put it in.
I've got him listed as number 3 on my roster, but he's actually wearing number 23 here tonight. So Gabe McBee, the 6'2 junior, gets 2 points, and there's a foul on this end of the floor, and that will be a foul on Unioto. That foul on number 11, Brandon Kennedy. That is his second foul. Sam Kumler will go to the line to shoot a 1-and-1 because there are now 7 fouls on the Shermans. First shot up for Kumler. It's good. Rattles it home.
8 for 9 from the free throw line are the Muskies.
88.8%.
Wow.
Let's not do this again.
Shoo. I teach social studies.
Radio math, baby. Second foul shot up, and that is a swish for Sam Kumler, the 6'1 sophomore. 2 for 2 from the line. Now they're 9 out of 10. Hey, that's 90%.
I can do that.
53-20. John Glenn leads Unioto.
Still pressuring a little bit, falling back to a 2-1-2.
Swackhammer into the paint. He puts it up, and he misses it. And there's a foul, and I do believe that foul is going to be on John Glenn. That could be on Shane Bonner.
I think
and
it's
if
on
it is,
Bonner.
that's his third.
Oh, no, they're going to call that.
Shane Bonner, third foul for him.
Yep.
And so that will be a shooting foul. Logan Swackhammer will go to the line,
Well,
and
that-
he will shoot 2, and that's a 72% foul shooter that you are sending to the line.
Yeah,
That's
that's-
Swackhammer.
Kid's
First shot
very
up and good.
capable player.
Swackhammer is a commit to Flagler College in St. Augustine, Florida. Swackhammer's second shot is up, and that's no good. It's taken by John Glenn. That's Casey Smith on that rebound. And so John Glenn getting trapped in the backcourt, and there's going to be a foul. And if that foul is on Swackhammer, that'll be his second.
Well, you can bet they're going to sell out. They're going to give everything they can to get back in this game. There's no quit in Unioto, that's for sure.
8 on the team.
So Swackhammer is a commit to Flagler College. You think that he's maybe longing a little bit for that kind of weather, especially when you step outside and it's maybe 32 degrees?
I certainly am.
First shot is up, and that is good. Sam Kumler from the line. That is his third foul shot in the last minute, and he's 3 for 3, looking to make it 4 for 4. 54-21 the score, 7:18 left here in this last period of regulation as Sam Kumler goes 2 for 2. That trip to the line, 55-21. John Glenn leads it. Swackhammer gets it to Kennedy. Kennedy. Back to Swackhammer. Swackhammer, inside it comes. That is McBee underneath. McBee puts it up, misses it, and Shane Bonner was going for it, and he got bumped, but they're going to say the ball was just out of bounds off of Unioto.
Yeah, Bonner looked like he had another rebound, and they came in, and they're dive bombing, kamikaze style, going in, taking chances. They have to get back into this game,
So,
if it's possible.
Inbounds. And trying to get it across the timeline, and they do. That's Shane Bonner with the ball. Drives it into the paint, and bounce pass outside. It comes to Haycock. Back to Bonner on the wing. Bonner over to Kumler. To Smith.
Look for an easy bucket because they can just weave the basketball if they don't turn it over.
Out of bounds, and McBee knocked it out of bounds, and I think that is because he saw Justin Haycock with a clear path to the bucket had he been able to corral that ball. So pretty heads-up play there by Gabe McBee, the 6'2 junior.
Well, John Glenn's in a very favorable position here. They just work the basketball and look for a cutter, and as the defense takes chances, you're going to find openings unless they do that.
And that is out of bounds off of John Glenn. That was Casey Smith trying to find Shane Bonner on a bounce pass, and out of bounds it went.
So you don't have to get real fancy. Just get in there and do what you do best. Square up, get strong, a nice strong pass to Bonner, but still a good lead. They're going to break the press pretty easy.
Right now, John Glenn has it starting 5 into the ball game.
2-1-2.
Out it comes to Swackhammer into the corner. That is McKee. Puts it up. That's no good. Rebounded by Rayleigh.
Just having a tough time making buckets.
Almost throwing it out of bounds as Rayleigh. He was trying to find Bonner. Bonner was able to save it, give it back to Rayleigh. Being guarded by Kennedy. Over it comes, and giving it up, but getting fouled is Sam Kumler. And that's a foul on Unioto, so Sam Kumler will go back to the line. He's made a living there here in the fourth quarter.
Brandon Kennedy foul, third for him. 9.
Third foul on Brandon Kennedy, the 6'2 senior.
Tim Kumler back at the line. 1. And the bonus. Chen Smith re-enters.
So Chance Smith comes back into the ball game for the Tanks. Checking out will be number 24. That is Cade McKee, the 6'3 sophomore. Kumler puts up the first foul shot. That will be good. Sam Kumler with 5 foul shots here in the fourth quarter. He's made all 5 of them. Checking in, Jack Williams. Checking out is Josh Rayleigh for the Muskies. 6:04. Now, why is that clock running? Not sure why that clock is running. That should not be running.
No,
Sam
the
Kumler
clock
puts the second foul shot up, and he's short on that one. So he's 5 out of 6 here in the fourth quarter. Did anybody notice that clock was running?
Nobody noticed.
Oh, it might be the mercy rule. It might be the mercy rule here in high school basketball.
Okay, I didn't know they even had that.
Yes, they do.
I'm pretty uninformed.
Yep. And so Swackhammer drives the baseline. He puts it up, and he puts it in there. So Logan Swackhammer delivers a 2-point bucket to make the score 56-23. I do believe it's a 35-point lead. If any time in the second half a team leads by 35 or more, then the clock runs. And there's a timeout on the floor. And that's a timeout, and that's a full timeout with 5:27 left here in regulation. 56-23. John Glenn with a 33-point advantage, and you're listening to it on WILE FM 97.7 and watching it on YRP TV on YouTube. (56-23) the score with 5:27 left on the regulation clock. John Glenn with a big lead over Unioto. John Glenn to inbound it, and Jack Williams does find Justin Haycock. I'm sorry, that's Sam Kumler. Couldn't see the number. That is Haycock, number 24. Back comes to Bonner. Outside to Smith. Casey Smith decides not to pass it, drives the baseline, puts it up, puts it in there, and one. Count the bucket, and now Casey Smith will go to the line, and he will shoot an extra free throw.
Again, the defense is scrapping, trying to get something done. They're weaving, running the weave, and then the defense is assuming they're going to go back with it. They're going to stall, and they did not. He gets them on the hip, goes to the bucket, and going to get a free throw chance here for the three-point the old-fashioned way.
And Casey Smith with this foul shot is no good. Rebounded, though, by Justin Haycock. Johnny on the spot to put that ball back up there, and good. Justin Haycock for two. 60-23 is the score, and a little bit of a rule clarification. Yes, indeed, it is 35 points or more that the clock continues to run during the second half, if that is the case in high school basketball in the OHSAA. And so here we go with the steal by John Glenn on the other end of the floor. It's to Haycock. Haycock pulls up. He gives it off to Smith. To Williams, outside to Bonner, thought about a three. He wanted that three-point attempt, decided to pass it back inside, putting it up and putting it in there. That is Casey Smith. 62-23, the score. John Glenn all over the Unioto Sherman Tanks. Timeout on the floor, and we will actually keep it here.
I think they're going to. I think coach has called a timeout. He's going to get call the dogs off a little bit, and
is that a full timeout? I couldn't see.
I couldn't tell you.
We'll keep it here. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, that the winner of this game will face the winner of the next game that we will have for you right here on WILE FM 97.7 as well as on YRP TV on YouTube. I'm talking about the Middlebrook Colts taking on the Fairland Dragons. That will come your way immediately following the conclusion of this game. Obviously, there will be a little bit of a court clearing, and they have to do warm-ups and all that kind of thing, but point is, we will have it for you on these airwaves. And hey, a big shout out to all of our video sponsors here tonight. Greg Millison especially with Homeland Realty. He really ponied up a lot of money to help bring this broadcast to you on the video side of things. So a big shout out to Greg. Did see him before the game. He was really happy, Mark, that we were able to say Homeland Realty, big sponsor, because we have it. That's how it is listed here on this list of sponsors, as well as Basic Systems, TK Auto, CP's Lawn Care, and B&B Body Shop and Towing. So 4:13 left here in regulation. 62-23. John Glenn well in control of this one. As Swackhammer passes outside to Kennedy. And having it knocked into the backcourt, there to get it is Jack Williams on the other end. He pulls up and he puts it up and he puts it in there. Jack Williams for two more. Why not? The score 64-23. John Glenn with a huge lead over the Sherman Tanks of Unioto. Saving it from going out of bounds is John Glenn, but there to get it is Kennedy for Unioto.
Wow.
Kind of a sequence there. Swackhammer drives it into the paint, puts it up. Nice shot by Swackhammer that's going to roll home, and that will be an and-one situation for Logan Swackhammer.
Nice job by Swackhammer to make something out of nothing, but what great hustle by John Glenn and Unioto going after that loose ball.
That was Carter Buchtel with the foul. Buchtel's checked into the ball game, the 6'4 senior, as Swackhammer connects on that foul shot. So 64-26 the score. John Glenn up by 38 with a little over 3 minutes to play here in the fourth quarter. Trying to get it out of the backcourt is Zachrich, and he does, giving up to Buchtel. Buchtel, baseline. Buchtel posting up, pass it outside, driving it into the paint, and there's a push away from the ball. And by the way, that is Jacob Blair who's checked into the ball game for the John Glenn Muskies. Jacob Blair, he's a 6'2 junior wearing number 44, and Blair will go to the line, and he will shoot two.
Yeah, that time came into the lane, was going to attack the basket, and Gabe Fisher just put his hands on him and pushed him, and so there's a push. He's going to be at the free throw line shooting two.
Did they just say Jonah Haynes? I thought that was Jacob Blair who's wearing number 44. First shot up is good. We'll have to try and get some clarification because Jacob Blair is listed on the roster as the 6'2 junior, but they just announced Jonah Haynes over the loudspeaker, so we'll have to wait and see what's going on there. But checking out of the ball game is Jack Williams, and checking in is Reese Perkins, the 6'1 sophomore. And here comes a whole line change for the Unioto Sherman Tanks, and some seniors getting hugs from Coach Hoops. Logan Swackhammer is one of the last to leave the floor. There's Chance Smith leaving the floor. He's a junior, so he's got some more time. Also checking out is Gabe Fisher, the 6'1 senior, as well as number 35, Peyton Hill, the 6'5 senior. A lot of hugs over there, and some good sportsmanship on the side of John Glenn, cheering on those seniors. So second foul shot is up, and no good for John Glenn, and that is rebounded by Unioto. DeBoard. Over it comes to Manson. Manson has it. Outside it comes.
A little bit of a zone here by John
Ader.
Glenn.
David Ader. He gives up to DeBoard. Cameron DeBoard. Back to Manson. DeBoard in the corner. 1:08 left. Inside it comes, passing it outside. That's a three-point attempt. That's up, and that is good. Cameron DeBoard for three. Gives the Unioto crowd something to cheer about. 65-29 is the score. Under a minute to play now. Getting it across the timeline to Reese Perkins. Perkins outside to Judd. To Zachrich. Driving it baseline, putting it up, and no good as John Glenn. Rebounded by Unioto, but there is Jacob Blair to take it and putting it back up, and that is no good, and that's a jump ball situation, and John Glenn has the possession arrow, and that clock will continue to run, Mark Withrow. That clock continues to run. We are under 30 seconds to play here in this ball game, 65-29. John Glenn is going to win this game, and the John Glenn Muskies are going to move on to Saturday's game right here at the Convocation Center. They will play the winner of the next game. That will be Meadowbrook against Fairland, as this clock continues to run, and they're going to put a man on the foul line. But it's all cosmetic at this point, folks. With 4.2 seconds left, first foul shot up, and that is no good.
That kind of tells the tale for the second one's no good.
And actually, that was a 1-on-1 situation, but it doesn't matter. That will be the final score, with John Glenn dominating this game throughout. There was really never any question. Maybe when the score was 2-0, but other than that, John Glenn had this game well in hand throughout the entirety of this ball game. They take it 65-29. A great 32 minutes of play for the Muskies. And like I said, the Muskies will move on to play the winner of Meadowbrook and Fairland. That game coming up right here on WILE-FM 97.7 and on YRP TV on YouTube. We'll be back with stats from this one.
Welcome to Homeland Realty, located on Main Street in New Concord. I'm Brenda Millison. Homeland Realty is a full-service real estate agency that can fulfill all your real estate needs with prompt attention to every detail.
And I'm Greg Millison. We would like the opportunity to talk with you and share with you how we can make home buying and selling easy.
At Homeland Realty, we make you feel at home. We care about our clients and we listen. Stop by our office or call us at 740-261-9022.
Basic Systems on Caddis Road in Cambridge is a full-service consulting engineering firm. They design and construct new projects or major upgrades to existing structures. Their team of experts design and lay out the best plan for success. CP's Lawn Care offers a full line of lawn care services. With quality professional services, they'll do your spring cleanup and maintain your lawn all summer long. Call Chad Parker at CP's Lawn Care at 740-704-7962. Proud sponsor of the John Glenn boys basketball team.
TK Auto Service is the garage that knows how important your time is and how much you depend on your vehicle. They are your tire center for Mastercraft tires and tire repairs, rotation, mounting, and balancing. TK Auto Service offers vehicle maintenance, including oil changes, starters, brakes, struts, shocks, and more. TK Auto Service, just a mile east of New Concord and minutes from Cambridge on Route 40.
Hey, this is Ted with TK Auto Service. Give us a call at 826-4916. That's 826-4916. Make us your repair service for all your vehicle care.
CP's Lawn Care offers a full line of lawn care services. With quality professional services, they'll do your spring cleanup and maintain your lawn all summer long. Call Chad Parker at CP's Lawn Care at 740-704-7962. Proud sponsor of the John Glenn boys basketball team.
B&B Body Shop and Towing is your partner in safety when it comes to vehicle repair, towing, and battery replacement. From collision repairs to vehicle restoration, B&B Body Shop can handle it. When it comes to your vehicle, it's your car. It's your safety. Don't be forced to take it anywhere else. And remember, B&B Body Shop and Towing is the area's Hertz rental car location. You may meet by accident, but you'll be glad you chose B&B Body Shop and Towing for your repair center.
(65-29), the final score here in Athens. The John Glenn Muskies are moving on to the Elite Eight. They will take on the winner of the next game that you will hear on these airwaves. I'm talking about the Meadowbrook Colts and the Fairland Dragons. First of all, some stats for the Muskies. Leading the way, leading the charge all game long, hot from downtown. Shane Bonner, he had 4 3-pointers, all of which came in the first half, really kind of set the tone. 16 points is what the 5'11 senior ended up with. Not too far behind him, Sam Kumler, the sophomore, with 11. Nick Minor contributed 9. Justin Haycock, Josh Rayleigh with 8 apiece. You had Casey Smith with 7. Jack Williams with 5. And Jacob Blair or Jonah Haynes, we're not sure which one it was, with 1 point. Now on the side of the Unioto, Sherman Tanks in the losing effort. Hey, Logan Swackhammer, the senior, the player of the year in the Pioneer Valley, I'm sorry, not the Pioneer Valley Conference, but the Scioto Valley Conference. He had 11 points. You had Peyton Hill with 5 of his own, and then contributing 3 points apiece. Cade McKee, Brandon Kennedy, and Cameron DeBoard with 2. Gabe McBee and Gabe Fisher, and that is how we got to where we are. Again, the final score 65-29. John Glenn defeats Unioto to move on to the Elite Eight. Mark, what do you have in terms of team stats?
When we look at shooting, John Glenn's going to shoot a blistering 58% from the floor, 56% from the arc. I mean, that's just tremendous. We look at Unioto, they're 28% from the field and 21% from the three-point line. Rebounds, John Glenn just crushed them on the board, 31 rebounds to 13. I've got unofficially 6 offensive boards to only 2 for Unioto. Turnovers, 10 turnovers for John Glenn, 12 for Unioto. Free throw shooting, John Glenn 73.7% from the free throw line, 42.9% for Unioto. The scoring by quarters, John Glenn's going to win them all, 20-6 the first quarter, 19-6 the second, 12-6 the third, and 14-11 in the final. 65-29 is your final score, and moving to the Elite Eight.
So if you're Coach Woodard, because you have to play the winner of the next game here at the Convocation Center, which is about 26 minutes away, by the way, and I'm talking about the Middlebrook Colts against the Fairland Dragons, do you make your locker room speech kind of short so that you can get out here, get a good seat, and start scouting for your next opponent?
Well, I think what you want to do is you want to tell them to hydrate themselves, get off their feet. They don't need to be walking around a whole lot and doing things.
You guys aren't old enough to hit Court Street yet.
Because we're looking at, a 3 o'clock game tomorrow, or Saturday. Save your legs as much as you can. Enjoy the game. Enjoy the victory. We'll get to work tomorrow.
So there you go. The John Glenn Muskies do indeed defeat the Unioto Sherman Tanks. Their season comes to an end here in the Sweet 16. Let's talk a little bit about if you're Coach Hoops. Obviously, this season didn't end how you wanted it to. You have a lot of seniors on your team who are going to be heartbroken on the ride back to Chillicothe. As a matter of fact, you have no fewer than 7 of those seniors who will be heartbroken on the ride back to Chillicothe. So if you're Coach Hoops, really quickly, what do you say?
Well, you've had a great year. You've got some players, some seniors have been with you for a long time. Keep your head up. You got beat by a better basketball team.
And joining us right now here in our little setup, we have got Coach Paul Eric. I'll tell you what, Coach Eric gets the headset on, and let's move your mouthpiece down a little bit so the folks at home can hear you. How about that ball game? What was the key to you? What was the turning point? Was there ever any point in this ball game where you felt like you had it in the bag?
Well, when we jumped out in that big lead early on, 18-3 or something, I thought it'd be kind of hard for them to come back. I thought they would make a run eventually because they're a pretty good team when we scouted them, but it just came to the point that our defense just suffocated them. Our kids just played magnificent defense.
Mark Withrow had a very interesting stat in the first half. I do believe that as we headed into the locker room, the fact of the matter was the John Glenn Muskies had out-rebounded the Unioto Sherman Tanks so badly, the Tanks didn't have any offensive rebounds.
I haven't seen the stats on it yet, but I think that's pretty close. And as normal, if Mark Withrow says it, it's right.
Well, you know what? Don't tell him that. I don't need his head to grow any larger than it already is, Paul. So now that you guys are moving on to the Elite Eight, obviously this is familiar territory to a lot of guys on your team. These guys, the upperclassmen at least, were here 2 years ago when you guys made that amazing run. Have you guys been using some of their war stories in practice to kind of keep the younger guys a little bit hungry?
No, basically not. Each team gets its own identity, and each team is its own entity. Our kids just played hard. I think if I look at it, Justin Haycock may have been the only kid that was on that run before. He was a sophomore back in 2016 when we made that run, and now he's a senior, and he stepped up to be a leader for us and does a great job, does a lot of things, passes. I don't know how many points he got tonight, but runs the offense, and he does a great job for us, and that experience may be showing up to him, but he'd be the only one on the team.
And Shane Bonner, what can you say about that guy's ice water? Came out, and he was just firing away from three-point land. I don't think he missed a single three-point shot.
Well, whatever he had for breakfast today, I hope he eats it Saturday, because I don't know if the kid can miss. He had a tremendous game. They weren't guarding him in the corner early on, and then he just stood out there and looked and just shot 2 or 3 quick threes, and I looked down and saw their coach shaking his head. I don't think they knew that he could shoot the 3 that well.
So now that this one is over and the teams for the second game that we will be covering here tonight are out on the floor, they are warming up, Meadowbrook and Fairland. Do you take a seat somewhere in the stands and start scouting for Saturday?
Yes, we will take a seat right over there where the students section is, and there'll be 4 or 5 coaches over there, and we'll watch both teams. Again, both teams are pretty good, because when you get to this level, everybody's good. We'll have some stuff on Meadowbrook already. We have played them and scouted them, but Fairland we've only seen once, and we know they're pretty big. We know that they were in the state tournament as a Division III school last year, and they have a lot of experience and a lot of good players, so we'll have to figure out a way to slow them down also.
John Glenn assistant coach Paul Eric. Congratulations on the big win. Thank you so much for
Thanks,
giving us a
Scott.
few minutes. Go enjoy this
I
win.
appreciate it. I will. Thank you, and thank you, Mr. Mark Withrow, sir.
And we look forward to seeing
Okay,
Coach
guys.
Eric again on Saturday at this very arena, the OU Convocation Center here in beautiful Athens, Ohio. Again, the final score, 65-29. John Glenn dominated Unioto throughout. Folks, a big shout out to a lot of people who helped to make the video broadcast happen. I am talking about Homeland Realty, the big sponsor, especially Greg Millison, who I was able to talk to a little bit after the game. Boy, you talk about a guy who's in great spirits. Greg Millison of Homeland Realty in some very good spirits, as well as Basic Systems. Thank you for hopping on board, as well as TK Auto, CP's Lawn Care, and B&B Body Shop and Towing. And a big thank you to Mr. Mike McKay manning the controls back at Studio Central for the radio portion. And here at the Convocation Center on the video side of things, Adam Green, the producer, and Quentin Archer, our long, lanky, tall, cool cameraman, making sure that everybody saw things crystal clear. Again, the final score, 65-29. How sweet the Sweet 16 was for the John Glenn Muskies. They move on to the Elite Eight. Again, that game will be on Saturday at 3 p.m. here at the Convocation Center. They will take on the winner of our next game here tonight, Meadowbrook and Fairland. We'll be back with that game right here on WILE-FM 97.7 and on YRP-TV on YouTube.
Tonight's game is brought to you by Homeland Realty, Basic Systems, TK Auto Service, CP's Lawn Care, and B&B Body Shop and Towing. This has been a presentation of ABC Sports.